Alright, you too.
Peter Hennessy.
Peter?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And of course,
I'm Philip Johnson, also known as Seminary 06. That's my screen name. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
we were listening to you earlier, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get you on videotape.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak to the people out there for a second about what the problem in Darfur is about, and how it affects you, and what you are doing about it?
Well, the problem in Darfur is 400,000 people that have been killed, and the government is behind it. In a lot of cases, they use the government-sponsored helicopters, come in and they destroy villages, and then they loot and they raid, and they have this government-sponsored militia called the Janjaweed. The Janjaweed goes in and rapes and kills tons of men, women, and children. They mostly kill the men, and then they rape the women and children. And it's just terrible, just absolutely terrible. But the purpose of our event is to raise awareness, because not many people know about the event or about the genocide going on in Africa. Not many people at all. One person asked me, "Who is Darfur?" And I was just like, "Oh, that's too bad." So that's what we're trying to do here.
Good. You have some poetry that you have written, and also some that you've gotten from other sources that really touched you in a way. Can you recite that for us?
Yeah. This is called Ideas by Peter Hennessy. That's me. What is it that we teach? What is it that we preach? The love, justice, freedom, equality. These are the ideas that comforts humanity. Ideas are spoken, ideas are taught. Words are given, a meaning is lost. Humanity creates, expressions fill our lives. Love is goodness, truth never lies. What do we know of the ideas of hate or death? A mystery ignorance has not met. We live by our cultures, expressions our eyes. Events as they come, people as they go. Fear, insecurity, and apathy grow. The discontent of disillusionment, the loss of an indifferent end. Ideas are what humanity knows best. Creation, influence, even with so little rest. Flickering images of war's delay, one light, two, they flicker away. I'm not to blame, what can I do? Ideas disappear, and so does truth. Action, policy, anger, empathy, an animal's extinction is an important distinction. We cringe when a species dies, when the life of evolution cries. Endangered policy comes from the comforts of empathy, a species' survival relying on sympathy. But what are we but a species of ideas, a constant reminder of a reflective army? It's not my fault, I have no part. My life is set, I have a heart. My blood flows with every drop of compassion. I am not the one committing this action. A silent voice, a lost protest. How can we forgive ourselves for this upset? People are dying and I see no tears. How can we not feel ashamed of our indifferent fear? Organic wholes disappear. The extinction of ideas brings none of us to tears. Yet humanity falls deeper into the dark depths of our apathetic fear.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
Pretty powerful.
Yeah, I just wrote that, and then I was getting really angry, and so I just started to write. Just free flow. This is all just free flow. Just thinking about the event. I cannot express the anger I feel right now. There's no way to tell you how hard it was to do this project. Many times I sat in this very hallway and felt a rush of sadness fill my soul. But this sadness is not for Darfur, and it was not for genocide, murder, or rape. My sadness was a reflection of my community, my nation, and myself. How is it that we can preach the sacred ideas of love, truth, justice, equality, and freedom, but not blink an eye or raise one finger to the horrors that man has given history? I am sad to know that if I want, there is food I can find. Depressed to know that even as I speak now, there are people starving to death, dying of dehydration, crying to the heavens in hope, or suffering from the unspeakable tortures that I cannot even imagine plague the men, women, and children of places like Darfur. But I am outright disgusted with the way we ignore these problems, the way we indifferently cast aside the ideas of a culture with a smile and a gesture of helplessness. Most of us do not know what it means to truly fear our lives. We can't imagine the feeling of being so despised that there are human beings hunting us for something we didn't do or can't understand. to be starving, to freeze or burn in the desert, to know that if we don't keep moving, we could be raped, tortured, mutilated, enslaved, or castrated and left to die. We don't know these things, but how can we? We hear more stories about Britney Spears or the latest sporting event than we do about the suffering of the world. The conversations we have on a day-to-day basis consist more of emotional attention-getting devices than of human growth. I hear more about shoes, television, complaints about classes, and outright deceitful gossip about other individuals than I ever hear of how we could solve any problem, personal or global. Our culture has driven us towards indifference, towards apathy, driven us away from one another. We can no longer understand that humanity is one species. The amazing beauty we feel when someone loves us, helps us, or gives us some much-needed advice does not diffuse to other cultures or countries. I understand that we don't live in this country, the country of Darfur, and that it really does